$1,900. That's how far I am from phase two. Welcome back to another episode of Almost Wealthy. I'm John. Last week, I dropped a full 7-week video talking about my phase one breakdown, every deposit, every dividend. Link is in the description if you missed it. Today, we're going forward. Phase two unlocks at $10,000. Right now, I'm at $8,100 portfolio value, and I wanted to walk you through what happens when I cross that line, what phase two actually is, and what changes for the loan, the dividends, and the paycheck, and what I do the day the portfolio hits $10,000. Okay, so what is phase two? Phase two is just a second bill. That's pretty much it. Phase one was the phone bill at $98 a month, moved over from my paycheck into the loan against my portfolio. Phase two does pretty much the same thing, but I'm adding the internet bill, which is $105 a month. So right now, $98 a month comes in from the loan instead of my paycheck. At phase two, it's $203, two bills. Neither one touches my bank account. Nothing else changes. Same portfolio, same 5 ETFs, same strategy. I just added the second bill when the portfolio grows to that point where it can support at $10,000. At 8,100 portfolio value, I'm just a little bit at $1,900 away. Now, let me explain why $10,000 is the number, because it's not a random number. Why $10,000 is the target? The portfolio pays my dividends every month. Think of it like rent. The portfolio is the building. Right now, the building is worth $8,100, and it's sending me about $30 a month in dividends. At $10,000, it's sending me about $44 a month. Nothing changes about the strategy. The building just got a little bit bigger. More value, same yield, more income. Every month, I carry a balance on the margin loan. M1 Finances charges me interest. At phase two, the interest is $11 a month. My $44 in monthly income covers the interest 3 times over. That's the green light. When the dividends comfortably cover the loan cost to carry, I basically move to the next phase. Below $10,000, the cushion is thinner. Above $10,000, it gets even better. But $10,000 is the line for right now for phase two. So let me show you how I think about this. I keep the loan at about 12% LTV. At $10,000, that means the total loan balance stays around $1,200. 12%, no higher. M1 Finance has a trigger. If the loan is bigger than 40% of the portfolio value, M1 will force me to pay back immediately. At 40%, you're kind of in trouble. For a margin loan call to happen with a $1,200 loan, the portfolio will have to fall $10,000 all the way down to $3,000. That's a 70% crash. That's worse than the 2008 financial crash. The M1 borrowing page has a health gauge right on the screen, green, yellow, red. Mine is green. I check it pretty much every day, every week. If you ever start moving towards yellow, that's a signal to slow down. But at 12% LTV, the gauge barely moves, even when the market drops. That's the whole point of staying low on the loan. What phase two does to the paycheck. This is the part I really want you to understand, because this is what the strategy is actually about. Every month, bills leave my bank account: phone, internet, electricity, groceries, car payment, rent, money in, money out. For most people, the cycle runs the same way in their entire life. My strategy is about breaking that cycle. Not all at once, one bill at a time. Phase one moves the phone bill. $98 a month stops leaving my paycheck. What did I do for that $98? I put it in the portfolio. Phase two moves to the internet bill, another $105 a month. That's $203 a month. Over a full year, that's $2,400 that stays with me instead of going to AT&T. And that $2,400 doesn't just sit in my checking account. It goes straight into the portfolio. More in the portfolio means more dividends next month. More dividends means more loan coverage, means I can add the next bill sooner. That's the loop. 2 bills is different from 1. I want to stay on this for a second because I think the jump from phase 1 to phase 2 is bigger than what it sounds. Phase 1 was the proof that the system can run. The dividends cover the interest, the LTV stays safe, nothing is broken. Phase 2 is the second proof. It shows phase 1 wasn't just a lucky first run. It shows the system repeats. And once something repeats, it becomes the process. Phase 1 was the proof of concept, and phase 2 is the proof of process. That's what makes the milestones matter more than just adding $105 to the loan. Let me zoom out and show you where phase 2 fits the bigger plan. Phase 1 was $6,000 phone bill on the loan, $98 a month. Phase 2, $10,000 internet bill, $203 a month. Phase 3, add another bill, bigger portfolio target. Phase 4, phase 5, the stair step keeps climbing to phase 10, which is $145,000. At phase 10, every single bill I have, the full $3,300 a month, comes from the margin loan, not from the paycheck, not from selling anything, from a loan backed by a portfolio that generates enough dividends to cover the cost of the loan. The paycheck doesn't go to bills anymore. Every dollar goes straight into the portfolio. That's the end game. I'm at a $8,100 portfolio. $145,000 is a long ways, but every phase frees up money that accelerates the next phase. Now let's take a note on the yield. The 5.23% yield moves, especially on the covered call ETFs like SPYI and GPIQ. Those yields change month to month based on how the option markets are behaving. If the yield drops, the monthly dividends drop. If the yield goes up, the dividends go up. The numbers I've shown you are based on today's yield. Even if there's a dip, phase 2 works because there's a cushion built in. I have about $1,900 to go. My monthly contribution is around $598 right now. That's $250 every 2 weeks, including the $98 for the AT&T bill. At that rate, the gap closes in about 3 months or so. So between now and phase 2, nothing really special. The day the portfolio crosses $10,203 a month stops leaving my paycheck. The dividends cover the loan. The freed money goes to the portfolio. I post every week, real numbers, real accounts. And if you want to be there for phase 2, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.